Hello, everyone. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. It is 2025. We are in 2025. Listen, are you excited that you crossed over? Listen, I am so super duper excited that we all crossed over, right? Because if you watching this, that means you crossed over. I am excited to be back for the Healing Clinic. It has been a while. Listen, let me welcome you guys into the room. I hope y'all miss me because I miss y'all, right? I really missed y'all. I was like such in a rut that I hadn't been able to get on to go live, to do any of the things, even to meet up with my girls here on this platform. I was like in a rut, but I understand time. I understand that things happen. I understand pivoting. But welcome to the Healing Clinic. It is 2025. We are in 2025. I am praying, listen, that y'all are in good health. Listen, it is your host, Ranisha Blackman. Look, y'all, I was so looking forward to this. I could not wait. It was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, I can't wait to get on the Healing Clinic. Like this thing is so dear to me. And I miss y'all. Like I really miss being able to come on, being able to share, being able to talk. And what I understand is that God has given me a gift to help people. And I know that the Healing Clinic is one of them. I'm one very transparent about my journey, very what is like raw and uncut with truth, because nobody has the hell to put me in, right? Nobody has the heaven or the hell to put me in. It is left up to the Lord Himself, right? God Himself. So I am excited to be back on here. I'm excited to bring 2025. Look, we still bringing it in. We what 6 days into the new year, so we so fresh. We so shy, fresh of 2025. So I'm excited to have you guys on. Again, I hope y'all missed me. If y'all did, drop it in the comments that like, yes, girl, we missed you. We missed you. We missed you. We missed you. Let me give a shout out to my girls, Chardell, Jerry, and Annie. If any of you guys were watching in 2024, you will know that my friends, my buddies, my pals, my girlfriends, my confidants, my safe places, they were on with me at the beginning of it all and, rolled it out. They have been on. We had talked about some stuff. We had some like comical times. Like I don't know if y'all missed some comical moments because, yeah, we had some. I think it was one where I was talking about what did I say? I called Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, one of the two, whatever it was. I said, but it was wrong. I was so wrong, and it was funny, right? Listen, laughter is good for the soul. Laughter is good when it. I mean, on a healing journey, you need to laugh in the midst of the storm. So again, welcome to the Healing Clinic 2025 New Year's edition. Yes, I hope. Listen, when the music was playing, I was kind of like bouncing a little bit, like yeah, because for the new year, I wasn't at the club. I ain't been at the club in years. I play too much. But I actually brought the new year in ministering the word of God. Brought the New Year's in with my babies. And it meant everything to cross over into 2025 and have me and my babies under one roof, praising the Lord, even seeing how their relationship is expanding on their own in God. Specifically, my daughter, right? It has been a blessing. So I'm excited about what this year has to offer. I hope you guys are excited. I hope y'all plan on riding out this wave with me this 2025 and start sharing with your friends about the Healing Clinic. Like, since I've been gone, so much has happened. Not necessarily bad, but so much, listen, so much has happened since I've last been on. And it was so many technical difficulties, so many crazy things that were happening potentially to prevent me from getting on. But listen, I pivoted. I waited. I waited it out. I thought I would be back earlier, like well, not earlier, late last year, and that didn't work out. But here I am. I'm back. I'm back. We're back. We're looking for guests to be on. I am looking for people that want to come on and share their journey, talk about their healing, whatever that healing pertains to, whatever that journey has been like. Let me be clear. All future guests will be screened before going through the full process. And so, if you are one that's interested and being a feature guest, drop your email in the comment. And we'll get back to you. Like we'll literally send you out an email to get some more information. If that's you, if you think like, yeah, I want to come on, I have a story to tell. I am open to hearing what your journey has been like, and for us to share with the people. For what I understand is, we're overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the power of our testimony. Our story can help somebody. Our story can help someone overcome themselves. It can give them hope. I've been living this thing out. It has not always been peaches and cream. Let me be clear. It's not even peaches and cream right now. But what I understand is God has kept me. The Lord has brought me over. He has brought me through. He has carried me, right, through many different circumstances and situations. And so that's what I come here on the Healing Clinic to talk about my journey, what it been like, what I feel like God is leading me to share with you. This is, listen, let me be like, we already know that the Lord is the foundation of this all. You can't go nowhere Ranisha at and don't think that God is not included in it, a part of it, the head, brother, father in charge, right? He is in charge of it all. And so literally, Healing Clinic is so special to me. And for those of you that have been following for years, you knew we started off as Free Talk Radio. I mean, we killed it. We killed it on Blog Talk Radio. So many testimonies from that. And over the years, as things just changed and as I evolved, we're now here, the Healing Clinic. And this is so interesting, y'all. I've been gone, okay, for a while. But the Lord had me been doing this prayer service. And so I even understand that I come here to do the Healing Clinic. But what I even understand is, in the prayer services I've been having, it's been like a clinic there with helping people get healed. So the Healing Clinic is there too, with praying and interceding for people. So it's so much that has been happening. I think since I last been on, y'all, I turned 40. Don't I look good for 40? I turned 40, y'all. I wish I could share the photos with y'all, but I don't want to take up too much time with y'all. Just like, so just flabbergasted at the way I was looking. No, I played too much, but not for my 40th birthday. I went out. I enjoyed myself. I had on my little white gown, and nobody could tell me anything. I mean, I had an outfit change. I started off in pink, and I ended that night with that white dress on with them feathers at the bottom. Couldn't tell your girl nothing. I mean, since I've last been on, I've turned 40. I've like retired out of doing business conferences and events. I literally back in August I had retired doing the Girl Code. I was doing the Girl Code magazine. I was doing the Girl Code business events, and I literally retired out from doing that. I only did it for a few years and blessed many women and had so many women be a part from all over the world. My time was up with doing that. It was only for a small season. So I've done that. I've turned 40. Y'all, I don't know what else I done, but I done something. You got to do something because I always find myself doing something, which has led me into 2025. And 2025 will look much different than all of the previous years. I've been doing things. We're talking about healing tonight. What I understand on this healing journey for myself is that as I've healed, as I become understanding of how I function, how I'm wired, how, things that I've experienced in my past life, how it had me respond or react in a way, I had to realize that it was still old patterns and old ways that I was operating in unconsciously. Like I didn't realize that I was still yet operating in a way. And so the more work your girl been doing on herself, literally being still, because even relinquishing, doing it, I don't know why I keep using that word relinquish. I think it's really, I just literally really had to let that thing go because I'm so big on helping people and I want to see everybody win. And I will be honest, I know the Lord had called me back for that season, but He told me that it was that my time was up. It's so interesting, y'all. Now I literally got what I want to talk about, but I also know how God deal with me, and He has shown me something for me to share. And so I'm gonna share this because it came to my mind because He brought it into my spirit. But I remember even in that period of time where where I was talking about like, retiring, relinquishing out of doing girl code. Let me tell you something. That event was so popping. Oh my God, it was so fun. I had so much fun doing it and having the women be a part, and it just so much happened within that event. But I remember when it was over, and I was kind of letting things go, preparing for my birthday, the Lord began to deal with me in a way. And I'm telling on myself, but sometimes I be up at like 2, 4, 5 in the morning. Sometimes I'm walking on the floor praying. Sometimes I'm up cleaning up. I was spring clean at 4 in the morning. Now, y'all, I'm being very vulnerable to y'all to tell y'all my business. Oh, wait, I don't think I had braces. I think I done got braces since we the last been on here. But I think I done got braces since we was last on. However, yeah, listen, I done lost my train of thought. But I remember being up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and my son wasn't at home at the time. So y'all, I'm in there cleaning up his room. I mean, I'm getting my clean on because he gone. So I'll be like, yeah, I get my clean on. However, I was putting, listen, minding my business, and I was putting a pillow in the pillowcase. And I'm telling y'all, I'm not being extra dramatic, but I know when I hear from God, and God has many different ways that He talks to me. But I'm gonna tell you, I heard so loud and clear, like put that pillow down, and I'm like, I'm not bothering nobody. Like, why I gotta put this pillow down? Um, and so I'm gonna tell you something. I tried to keep going with putting that pillow in that pillowcase. And when I tell you, I like this conviction fell on me, I put that pillow down and I walked away. And what I could hear the Lord saying to me was, um, He was like, I love that you like things in order, Bernicia. He said, but I don't want you to use it to your own detriment. God was telling me, like, I like that you like things in order because He is a God of order. He was like, but not to your own detriment. And so He told me, put that pillow down and go lay down. And I share that because I know me, I have um, always, I'm the oldest of 7 children. So it was leading my siblings. Been always, as far as I can remember, been a very, very mature individual. So it was always keeping things in order, having things right. My grandmother did not play, and I was raised by my grandma. So it was it's the mind frame to have things in order, have a clean house, and all those other things. And sometimes, because of my journey, I can be tired throughout the day. So when I find the time to do certain things, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll do them. But the Lord was telling me, like, no, put the pillow down and go lay down. And I ain't even telling you no story. As fast as I did that and got in my bed to lay down, I fell asleep. Now I went from being wired trying to clean a room to going in the room and falling asleep. And so I that was yet another instruction that God was giving me. You probably be asking like, Bernicia, why are you sharing this? Because literally those promptings, those preparation was preparing me for what God has said to me for 2025. And so it was the no longer doing the big conferences and stuff like that. It was the me trying to clean up something at 4 in the morning, and I really needed to rest my body. It was so many other things that has transpired in that moment where God, I literally saw the Lord just removing things and me no longer doing them. Like, no, you ain't doing this no more. No, you're not doing that anymore. And I'm just like, okay. So me being so accustomed to always being on the go, it felt really uncomfortable to slow down. It felt uncomfortable to not do so many things. It felt uncomfortable to be bored. I mean, I was trying to find stuff to do. Like I literally was trying to find stuff to do because for being bored to me, it's like being lazy. Like I always have to be, there always have to be some form of productivity in my life because that's what I've been accustomed to. Like going, 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 going. Like sitting was lazy to me. I didn't know what it was to sit down, and I can like reflect back over the years and see that God gradually was just like removing certain stuff from me. Because one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna obey God. Like I'm not gonna play with obeying the Father. Like I don't play with that. So it was things that He was telling me to do, and I was assuring that it was Him. And so I start letting, it was stuff I just start walking away from. And so, like I said, last year, it was just like taking a pause in certain areas. But certain areas, it was like, nah, we letting this go and that go. And it was just like he's literally came in and just like cleaned up my business. Like even certain things that I was doing, I don't do them no more. Like I can't even tell y'all. It's a whole laundry list of stuff that I was used to doing that it's like a flat out no. Even me always being the go-to. I even had to learn, and I don't know if I brought this conversation here before, and if I did, for whatever reason, the Lord is having me bring it back. But I had to learn where I could tell people, "Oh well, not today," or "No," or I can't, I'm busy that day. Or and part of it, it was so weird. It was so weird for me, because I'm so used. I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell them no, but I had to stand firm in like, oh no, I can't do that today, or I already got something on my schedule because for me, I've been so used to showing up for other people. I probably would change my schedule, and I'm saying probably now, but in the past, I really would change my schedule for other people. But as over time, as I've been learning myself. And again, y'all, if I've not shared before, which I know I think I have, I'm in therapy and I'm committed to therapy. Like literally, I don't play about going to therapy because I know that it is something that I need to help me because I've been operating and functioning through trauma for a very, very, very long time. So even in that, is just having conversations there and then showing up and telling people no. It was something I even had to deal with dealing with self abandonment, and that was like key. Like I would abandon myself to show up for somebody else. And so now it's like, no, I can't do that. Unfortunately, no. If I knew I was tired, knew I didn't have the strength, it's like, oh, well, not today. Or, somebody like, oh, we want you to come speak here. You got a powerful message. No, not this time around. Maybe catch me next time. So it's just been a lot of just releasing certain things, ways of thinking and operating. But again, I did not know what God was I didn't really know what he was preparing me for. And so really like the last 6 months of 2024, I really found myself at home. Like not doing a whole lot of nothing and not saying I don't go out, but or wasn't going out, but it was more so I was at home, like relaxing. When I say I think I've watched everything on TV, Lord help me, Jesus, I am running out of stuff. And for me, that what I didn't even watch TV. Like I probably would I would binge watch stuff in seasons, but not just sit and watch up everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm running out of stuff to watch. And so it was like I used to be on this high, on the going, 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 going. And I didn't, there were times in the past where I crashed and burned, but this time I saw myself gradually like coming down. And like I said, it was a lot of, no, I can't do this. No, I can't show up for that. And sometimes I had stuff to do, but for the most part, I probably was just in my room, in my bed, watching TV. When I say I have laid in this bed more than like whatever, and part of me like you are being lazy, but the truth of the matter is no, it was me healing. It was me coming down off of being in survival mode because that's all I've known to do. Gotta do the next thing because the next thing is coming. Gotta do the next thing because the next thing is coming. And it became a vicious cycle of just being in survival mode or being in all these places, showing up for all these people because that's my way of proving to people, not even necessarily showing, but proving that I am who I like. No, all that like I am who I am, and I don't have to do a thing for you to know that I am that person. But that's what I've learned. I learned in being in survival mode or just working, baby. Let me tell you something. I know a good hustle. Nobody can't tell me nothing about hustle because Bernicia will hustle, have hustled my whole life so much so that like I knew about hustling. I knew about um, making money like before I, got to where I am at. And what I mean by that is like being an entrepreneur and just, doing mass marketing to promote my business. Nah, I had already had experience with that. But I will share with y'all. But my prayer was to God was where I'm going, what I'm doing, is it of Him? Like, is the Lord having me operate in this way um, as an entrepreneur or being a creative and such that I am that creating all these different, whether it's classes, books, all of it. Like I got so many witty ideas that I have mastered out. Some of them I've launched and mastered, and some it's a whole list more. But me combing through like what exactly of those things do God want me to do because I knew how to do all of those things, right? But when I talk about the hustle part, I'm like, listen, Lord, I knew of hustling and making money when I didn't know you. So I don't want to now switch lanes and I'm over here with you and I'm using the old mindset for the new thing. Like, is this what you're telling me to do? And God definitely had called me to those places because not sounding self-righteous, but I'm serious, y'all. I'm like, do you want me to do this? Because if you don't want me to do it, I'm not gonna do it because it was a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that God told me to do that I didn't want to do, and not because I wanted to be disobedient to Him, but because I didn't feel worthy enough or smart enough to do all of that. And that's a different story for a different time. But I say all that to say that as the end of 2024 came, and 2024 was a very, very rough year for me, to say the least. I saw myself like slowing all the way down. And so I'm gonna share it with y'all. And I'm looking at my paper because I wanted to make sure that I was following through with what I said. Um, but I want to share with y'all that God was preparing me for 2025. Literally on New Year's, I was working. The Lord, like I was working, and we don't have to go deep into that conversation what God had me doing that particular day. But on that Thursday, January 2nd of this year, I literally was in my room because this is where I've been. Like I do a little creating, but I just ain't been working how I used to, and it have bothered me. Like, man, I'm used to always working, but it's just like my mind be somewhere else. And as I've already said, it's like I had a problem with it, but I didn't understand. So Thursday, I'm literally sitting in my room, and the Lord was like, "This year, you go rest." And I'm like, "Rest? Like, sir, what was them last 6 months?" Because I wasn't doing the healing clinic. I didn't do girl code anymore. Um I haven't been doing nothing really. Like I've created certain things, but I ain't been working how I normally work. Like I'm so serious. Like I have not been working how I normally work. Like it has been slow. When I tell you I even created a schedule that I've been sticking to. If I tell you I'll meet you on Wednesday or whoever on Wednesday, like, listen, that's what I'm gonna do. Even my bonus kid, like, that's a whole nother story. But I started back getting him in September, and my commitment is to get him on Mondays. I've been committing to that, like Monday. I don't switch up and be like, oh, I feel bad. I should do no. This is what my schedule is. This is what I'm going to commit to because all these other days I might have to do. I've done a little work here and there, but man, I have not been working the way I would normally do. And to hear God tell me that 2025 I'm gonna rest, and I was like, rest, like, sir, you done saw all these you done saw all these movies I didn't watch, shows I didn't watch. When I tell you I got folders of studies and deep dives I've been doing because it's like I have so much time on my hand, but then that's what my heart been pulling towards. And even more so, truth be told, even for my business, my heartstrings been towards doing ministry. And I know people may have known me to do the conferences and stuff before, but it was a time where like I was heavy operating in ministry. And back in 2021, I kind of like walked away from it because I was over it and the whole church thing. So I wasn't really doing ministry like I used to. But I found myself like, man, like back, and it's so different for me in this season. But what I do know is the Lord told me things like 2025, you go rest. And it reminded me again of that morning when I was up trying to clean up, and he like, no, put the pillow down. Yeah, I even went. Let me tell you something. I was excited. I just thought about it. I even took a train ride to Santa Barbara. I went by myself. It was so beautiful. Like, let me tell you something. I took the train to Santa Barbara by myself. When I got to Santa Barbara, I started to get like an Uber, but no, I ended up walking. I wanted to go to this particular restaurant. And baby, I looked up and it was like 7 minutes, but when I was looking, it was talking about 7 minutes in the car. When I clicked walking, it was 30 minutes. But I took the walk, and the walk was like along the beach and me watching the water. And even when I got to the restaurant and my seating was outside to just sit on the beach and just watch the sun and the people and their families. Like, and I was solo. It was such a beautiful experience. But that's what the Lord was preparing me for. He was like, this is the way you about to live. You about to your rest is your focus for 2025 is resting in me. Let me take care of the rest, Brownisha, and you just rest. Because for so long, it's me trying to make sure I got the next thing done. Like just checking off my list. And God was like, I don't want you to live like that anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things that I will be doing this year, but it will not be like nothing that I've ever done before. And my friends know if I tell them I'm gonna stop doing something, they always make me out. They always try to make me out to be like girl. They don't be believing me because they like you say it all the time, and then you find yourself end up working, 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 working. And that was so crazy to me. Like, dang, like I had such a, I guess you want to call it a bad habit of just working, working, working to the point that even my friends was like, "You ain't taking a break. You're not gonna stop doing that." So I literally had to go through with it, and they like, "Oh my God, she really is doing this." And yes, because God really had instructed me, like it's time to give up all that stuff. Like I've showed up for so many people because okay, there were seasons, and I'm not gonna tell you all of it was a God because that'd be a lie. I showed up for a lot of people, and sometimes it was because I just wanted to show up for them. It wasn't necessarily said that God wanted me to show up for them, and even because I just wanted to, it wasn't necessarily bad. Now there are some. Um, because the Bible tells us not to cast our pearls to the swine. So there are some people I showed up for, and it was just, it wrecked me, it drained me. But I learned from those things. As to even, I even had to kind of, cause y'all listen. I'm a person. I don't on my healing journey, or even through like teaching and coaching and counseling. I always ask the person the question, like the root of the matter. I'm always getting to the root matter. So I even had to question and ask myself, why was I doing that? Why did I go out my way to do that for whoever or people, period? Like, what was that attached to? And as God was revealing it to me, God began to heal me from it. And in Him healing me from it, I then realized that I didn't have to show up and be in all these places to prove nothing to nobody. Because some of the people wasn't even appreciative to it in the first place. And so last year, even when the whole thing crashed and I couldn't get on here, I'm telling you, it was like I made a commitment and I wanted to show up. I'm good, baby. If I do a deadline, you better believe that I'm gonna try to meet that deadline. But God just came and just shook up my life and was like, "But it's just okay. It's okay." Like He said, I'm a God of order, and I love that you like order. He was like, "But not to your own detriment." And so He began just to move stuff in. And now I'm just learning just to operate different. Do I got it in the bag, y'all? Absolutely not. But I am going to sit in the fact. I am going to lean into what 2025 has to offer me, what the Father has said before me. And He said, rest, rest. And rest does not mean that I'm going to stay sitting in this room the whole 2025. And yeah, y'all, I'm in my room. Not that I will be in my room the whole 2025, but that was a requirement because I had just been going and going and going and going and going and going. And I needed to sit down. I needed to be still. The Bible says to be still and know that I am God. And so I had to be still. And in be still, there were clear instructions. And my instructions for 2025 is to rest. And that might not necessarily be for you. This may be the year where you just getting your feet wet, where you just starting out. This is the year where things will accelerate for you. I think in my share of anything, um, it's just be where God is. Be where God told you to be. Because if we be honest and we talk about healing, right, prior to healing, there is pain, there is infection, like there is something that needs to be, there's brokenness, there's something there that needs to be healed, right? And whatever is there, may be causing you to operate in a way. Why? Because you're trying to protect yourself. Um, whatever is there may cause you to um, be operating in survival mode because it's like, you know what, you know people not to show up. So why even ask them for them not to show up? It's so many different things attached to survival mode, and let's be clear, we've been taught to survive in directly and indirectly. But you got to come up out of that, because the Bible says to for us not to lean to our own understanding, but in all our ways acknowledge God in your direct path. When we're operating in survival mode, we're not depending on God. We're dependent on self. We're dependent on what we think will finish it. You know, and like I said, if there were things that I know the Lord told me to do, um, and I did them, but I had to be mindful of how long He wanted me to do them because I can get so caught up in thinking like, oh, I got to do it for the extra such and such and such. And I'll be clear, I'm telling y'all, and again, it's not to sound self righteous. I always try to be clear when God tells me to do a thing, even when I don't like it. Like I always want to be clear when He tell me like stop, pause, go. Because when He was talking about rest, I'm like, sir, I had a lot of sleep last year, and sleep and rest is not even the same thing. Let's be clear. So this year for me, for my 2025, it's me resting in God. It's me, and funny thing is now I understand. Like it was a level of peace that was starting to set on me, and I was like, "What is this?" Because it was just such a calmness. But I want to say that that had to be practiced. Like I literally in the season of Him making me let things go, like I literally had to sit in calmness, um, and not be so still living in a chaotic life. Let's talk about briefly. Let me just throw this in here. Like people talk about PTSD, right? And PTSD was first found in, as far as I can remember, it was first found in war veterans, like because they went off to war. But let's be honest that you probably ain't went fought for America, but you've had your own war in your family, in your life, in your city, in your home. You've had to fight wars. You know what I'm saying? You had to go through things. Um, and so it calls you to operate in survival mode. It calls you to be protective. Like me, I always have these parameters of things like things put in place in case the ball drop over here. That was not resting. That's that's not rest. That's not resting. Like that was being in survival mode. And so I just seen God begin to just relinquish stuff. And some now I sit here, if I got a plan A, I ain't coming up with no B. Because if A ain't working, and I don't, he'll work it out for me. And it's so interesting because originally I was like, what am I going to get on here and talk about? And he just wrote out the story for me. I mean, I knew that I wanted to come and share with you guys about um, how last year was and why you guys haven't saw me, and definitely healing, but I just didn't know exactly what. And then a few days ago, he like, you need to rest. And so I'm like, I need to rest. Um, and then at first I was like what? I've been laying down. And then he showed me something else. And then I understood what he meant about that I need to rest. It's so much that has happened in what it's been like 6 months. It's so much that has happened. It probably ain't been that long. Yeah. Has it been that long? Hmm. Probably about four, five. But it's so much that had happened to further allow God, for me to see God in certain things as He was healing me. And me, like, I just see myself a different way than I once did. And so I want to encourage you to sit with Him. Let God talk to you. Let go of, whether you want to call it relinquishing, wherever you want to call letting go. Let go of the thing that is attempting to slow you down. Let go of the thing. And let's be clear, because the Lord brought me to slow down in how I was operating. But what I mean by the thing of you slowing down is the thing that is preventing you and trying to keep you from getting to where He truly has intent for you. Because, oh, listen to this. See, God was causing me to slow down from doing all these things. But all those things that I was doing potentially was slowing me down from getting to where I needed to be in Him. Let's be clear. God was, He caused me to slow down from doing the things because the things could potentially slow me down from where He was trying to get me to go. And so there's an exchange. Who would you prefer to slow you down, the things or the Father? Which side you want to be on? Which life you want to be living? And so I just wanted to come on here and say happy New Year's to you. We're back. The Healing Clinic is back. And to just share that experience with you of what I've been experiencing. And I look forward to the rest. Look, let me tell you something. When He said rest, I sat down and I looked at our calendar for the year like, what we doing, what we go do, and what we not go do. Because what we ain't gonna do is disobey God. And so if God has called 2025 for me to rest, I definitely want to obey Him and do what He told me to do. And so I want to encourage you. What would 2025 look like for you? How would your life be? I would hope it has not looked like the last 365 days. I would hope it ain't look like the last 5 years, the last 10 years. Let this be the year that you make the change or whatever that change is. I'm not one anymore of New Year's resolutions, but I am one of evolving, letting go, examining what's gonna help me and what's gonna harm me. I don't do good with New Year's resolution because if I set a goal and I don't reach it, then I can be very harsh on myself. And so since I've learned that about myself, I'm learning to take it one day at a time and show myself grace because I can be my own worst critic. And so being my worst critic and like, oh, I didn't slept already, as if I don't know how this life has been. Like I know huh, this last decade or these last 2 decades, and I'm only 40, but these last 2 decades of my life have been rough, and they caused me to just operate in survival and not truly live. But I want to live now, and in living, and truly living, it's going to require that I rest and trust that God will take care of everything, whether I'm working for it to come to pass, or if I'm just sitting and it comes to pass. Wherever I find myself, I want to be resting. I'm excited, y'all. I'm looking forward to the resting. Um, as we get ready to close this show out, the first show of the year, I want to share that originally we were coming on every first and third Monday. Now I'm just going to come on every third Monday of the month again because I'm resting. So I'm not giving myself a whole bunch of jobs to do, but I don't want to neglect this space here. I don't want to neglect this platform here. You can still find us on the Healing Clinic on Facebook. You can still find us on the Healing Clinic podcast on Instagram and find us on the Healing Clinic podcast on YouTube. We were doing the blog talk thing. That's no longer working. I know we still have it here on display, but we will not be on Blog Talk anymore. You will find me here on Instagram and on YouTube every third of the month. We will be definitely marketing and updating everything so you know when to find me, what time to find me. I hope something that I said here today encouraged you and enlightened you in a way that you didn't even expect. It was, I felt a little geeked up today, but I felt like, this went smooth. And God had His way with how He had it. Normally, I'll preach a thing. I didn't preach a thing, y'all. I just talk to y'all. But sit and see what this year is for you, and don't give yourself more. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I pray blessings over each and every one of you. And I will see y'all back here. What was this? So since I did this one, this is the what? The first Monday of the year? Is it? I think it is. So I might be back. I'm not making any promises because um, my son's 19th birthday this month. So I might be back the third Monday of this month. If not, I'll be back next month. Just follow us and stay tuned, and I will keep you updated on when to find me back on the screen sharing something amazing with you about the healing clinic or in my healing journey. Again, if you would like to be a part of the healing clinic as our future guest, drop your email in the comments and we will send you over an email to get more details about you. I appreciate all of you and thank you for tuning in.